this is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Golavinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Akosita Tale and this is FBC News. Tonight, Fiji through to semi-finals at Singapore Sevens. Tropical Depression 17F moves away from the country. And heavy rain causes major flooding in Lambasa. The Vodafone Fiji 7 side will play South Africa in the first cup semi-final of the Singapore tournament tonight. This after the Ben Ryan coach side edged Australia 19-14 in the quarterfinals. Kiteone Talinga scored in the last minute of the match to hand Fiji the victory. Fiji plays South Africa at 8:28 p.m. and you can watch the tournament live right here on FBC TV. Tropical Depression 17F is moving further away from the country. The depression was located about 100 kilometers west-northwest of Lakemba and about 100 kilometers south-southeast of Taveuni at midday today. TD17F is moving east-southeast at 16 kilometers per hour away from the group, and the Lau and the Lomaiviti group, eastern and interior parts of the larger islands, can expect occasional showers. Other areas will be experiencing fine weather apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. A strong wind warning remains in force for the land areas of Lau, Lomaiviti group, eastern Vanua Levu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, but is now cancelled for the rest of Fiji. Heavy rain from last night and early this morning has caused flooding in most parts of Lambasa. Our northern correspondent Eleanor Torangevu reports floodwaters have receded in most areas.
The people of Lambasa woke up to this today. Floodwaters at each end of the town as a result of the heavy rain brought about by Tropical Depression 17F. This is at Y Corner at the end of Main Street, Lambasa, which has been underwater from last night.
It was at night when I heard somebody knocking on the door. I woke up and opened the door and saw two children outside.
I'm here at Shiri Gurnanak Primary School. 17 classrooms altogether have been underwater following the heavy rain from last night into early this morning. This does not include the toilet buildings, administration buildings and the school library as well as the computer lab.
This side is near the river. This river came from Kortari. Kortari is very far. If any time rain in Kortari, this flood is coming in town. And every time this one is come to the school.
4 evacuation centers were activated last night, sheltering 308 evacuees, whose homes were inundated with floodwaters early this morning.
It was in the morning at 4 o'clock in which we noticed that the water has been rising up. We called the police. The first call was before 5 o'clock. We've been calling them just to inform them that the water continued to rise, and they provided us a fiber boat, and we had about 5 trips.
At Khalsa College, about 35 families are sheltering there after they were evacuated by police and fire officers at around 3 a.m.
I saw floodwaters and got scared, but I was glad it was already morning and I was wide awake. I felt sorry for parents carrying their children to higher grounds.
This afternoon, the Divisional Emergency Operations Center in Lambasa distributed food ration to these families as they wait for floodwaters to recede so they can return to their homes. Along the Lambasa-Nreketi highway, the torrential rain overnight has opened up a large slip across the road. The road has been immediately closed off and engineers are assessing the site. At Langi Road in Tambia, floodwaters have washed out a culvert and burst open the main pipe supplying water to the 27 families in the area. Farms have also been damaged.
There are low-lying areas, but homes, I don't think so. Yeah, but most of the farms have been damaged. The sugarcane farm, rice farm has been all damaged.
All flights and shipping services to the Northern Division have been temporarily suspended while authorities work to restore other services. Police have also been deployed to the affected areas to restrict members of the public from unnecessary movement. Eleanor Turangevio, FBC News.
Heavy rain associated with the tropical depression also caused flooding in areas between Lami and Nausori. Nausori's Vudi Road was flooded last night, however flood waters did not reach any of the houses. The Ngawio village in Lami outside Suva also experienced flooding during heavy rain yesterday afternoon. Youths worked together to clear the debris that came in with the flooding.
There was continuous rain from 6 a.m. until 4 in the afternoon that caused flooding in this area. Water started to recede later in the evening. Whenever the bridge is flooded, we always use the other bridge because it is much higher and safe.
The public are being urged to continue to be vigilant. The Courts Fiji Limited outlet in Avua has been destroyed by fire. It is believed the fire started late yesterday afternoon. The firefighters managed to stop the fire from spreading to adjacent buildings. The cause of the fire is not known at this stage. Investigations continue. Coming up in sports, flamboyant Fijians edge Australia and Singapore, and Army Green wins Nawaka Sevens.
Governor, we have a Saulog, living in Tabua. Do tell me about living in Bula FM, no one doing
Bula, Navango Ulamila, or Gogainandi, and do Talitak Navarro and Bula FM, number 2 in a series.
Bula, Ango Penel Toka, do Talitak Navarro and Bula FM, number 2 in a series.
Nimbula, Navango or Anawete Webata, and a Cassi, and the Valrongo and a Bula FM. Number 2 and seri.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
Welcome back, this is FBC Sports. The Vodafone Fiji 7 side will play South Africa in the first semi-final of the Singapore tournament. Fiji survived a scare in the Cup quarter-finals to edge Australia 19-14. Rohit Deo tells us more.
Fiji play Unzikul. Oh, the drama. The big guy through. Is he going to get there?
The moment that had every Fijian fan jumping for joy. Coach Ben Ryan credited the win to the disciplined defense in the second half.
And the key moment for us was a couple of minute period where we defended off our line, because if they scored again it was Saochie, and we defended well, we got a clean turnover, and then we went coast to coast. And then I made a tactical sub right at the end. I took Apasai off, I put Fatimo back on the field. He delivered the perfect restart. I told him as he came on the field, you better do that, sunshine. He did. We got the ball back and then Kitty finished.
This is going to be...
Ryan says his players have surprised him with the fitness level they possess.
Landing a big blow.
I'm thrilled. I haven't seen as much energy in the team all year. You know, even at Uprising or on tour, they were buzzing this morning, you know, and they're tired now, but just from seeing how fit they were, they'll recover quickly for this semi-final. They'll be good to go.
The message before the semi-final against South Africa is pretty much clear.
If we win this semi-final, we've got one hand on the World Series trophy, and so it's incredibly important now. We're 2 games away from this team making history, so we'll refresh, we'll give them a cup of tea and some buns, and we'll get on with it.
Fiji takes on South Africa at 8:28 p.m. today, after which Kenya battles Argentina at 8:50 p.m. You can watch the tournament live right here on FBC TV. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
Fiji defeated England 26-12 in their last pool match last night to qualify to the quarterfinals. The Fijians stepped up to the occasion, knowing a loss will send them out of the main competition. Here are the highlights.
Wait for the pirate techniques here from Kitchi Linga. Up and over the 22. Back inside to Masivesi Dakuwanga. And Fiji, being the champions that they are, Long looping pass into midfield, up his side, Domalailai, the smiling assassin that is Domalailai. Difference to Linga, keep an eye on him. Where's the pass? There it is to Verimalua, the kick, the chase. Lamert against Verimalua. Verimalua gets it.
Fiji Sevens skipper Hosea Kolinisau, who is playing in his 50th tournament in Singapore, says when his team runs onto the field, it's never about only one player. Kolinisau says the contributing factor towards the team is every player's priority. The modest 30-year-old says the most important thing is to win the tournament. Other things will follow later.
Not about one person. I told them that our series is on the line. Let's forget about my 50th and let's focus on the tournament.
Kolinisau is the first Fijian player to play 50 tournaments on the 7th circuit. The Telecom Fijian side defeated Spain 15-10 in its last pool match at the Langford Sevens in Canada. Despite the win, Fiji finishes last at the bottom of its pool and will now play in the bowl competition. The Fijians lost its earlier two matches, going down to New Zealand 26-5 and USA 24-12. Fiji takes on Japan in the bowl quarters at 6:50 a.m. tomorrow. Army Green defeated Army Red 22-7 to win the Fiji Bitanawaka Sevens at Prince Charles Park in Nadi yesterday. Former Fiji Warriors rep Aminia Sinava played a leading role for the Army Green. The Water Authority of Fiji won the Oldies division, beating Nawaka 19-5, while the Coastal Singatoka beat First Landing 7-5 in the play division. Army Green collected the $12,000 prize money, while Army Red walked away with $3,000. The Manchester City football side thrashed Chelsea 3-0 in the English Premier League today. Meanwhile, at 12:30 a.m. tomorrow, leaders Leicester City plays West Ham United, and you can watch that match live right here on FBC TV. And in the Super Rugby competition last night, the Blues beat the Sharks 23-18. And in other matches, and after 7 rounds of competition, the Chiefs lead the points table with 29 points. Rain affected the Northern and the Eastern Division today. Elsewhere, fine weather apart from scattered showers prevailed. Temperatures in Nandi, Lautoka, Mba and Lambasa reached as high as 30 degrees, while Suva and Savu-Savu were on 29 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast: strong southerly winds with average speed of 55 kilometers an hour and gusts to 85 kilometers an hour over the Lau and Lomaiviti group, eastern Vanuatu, Taveuni and nearby smaller islands, winds gradually easing from tomorrow. Elsewhere, moderate to fresh southerly winds. Rough to very rough seas, occasional showers over most places. An outlook for Tuesday: fine apart from brief showers. And recapping our main stories tonight, the Vodafone Fiji 7 side will play South Africa in the first Cup semi-final of the Singapore tournament at 8:28 p.m. Tropical Depression 17F is moving further away from the country, and heavy rain from last night and early this morning caused flooding in most parts of Lambasa. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM, and on to our poll question for this week. And we are asking, are there too many fake online boutiques in operation? To answer, you can visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensize@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our Facebook page, FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow in Twitter as your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. Good night.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान कुरबो तालेबू के। जैसे फेस्टिवल आई ग्रेट है कुरबो में, उसी तरह मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है कुरबो में।
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची FM को लॉक कर दिया जाए। मिर्ची FM इट्स हॉट।
हम नकाशी से साइमन है, हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची FM नंबर 1 है।
माय नेम इज दिनेश, हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जैंट जिपलाइन में, और मिर्ची FM इज हॉट, आई लाइक इट।
मिर्ची FM इट्स हॉट।